Your papa loved you so much.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the times when Disney had us clutching our tissues for all the right reasons. Some of these moments are major spoilers, so beware. Number 20. This is my family. Lilo and Stitch.
If it wasn't for your experiment 626, none of this...
Stitch.
What?
My name Stitch.
Stitch, then.
Alien Stitch crash lands on Kauai, and neither he nor young Lilo know what to make of each other. But the crazy little extraterrestrial creature forms a bond with Lilo and her older sister Nani, who runs their household now that their parents have passed away. There are a lot of heavy themes in Lilo and Stitch, but it's ultimately about a found family.
Aloha, oi. Aloha, oi. Ike ona ona no ho. Ikalipo.
When it comes time to return to space and leave them behind, he expresses just what Lilo and Nani represent to him, making us well up. This unit might be small and non-traditional, but so is Stitch.
Who are you?
This is my family. I found it all on my own. It's little and broken, but still good. Yeah.
Number 19. Lightning McQueen pushes the king. Cars.
What are you doing, kid?
I think the king should finish his last race.
Caught in a three-way heat between the veteran strip The King Weathers and the nasty young upstart Chick Hicks, the famed Lightning McQueen is poised to win the race of his career. Chick sabotages King, sending him into a tailspin that effectively takes him out of the game.
I am not coming in behind you again, old man.
Lightning is about to take the whole thing, but his time in Radiator Springs has taught him what's really important. He gives up his chance to win the prized Piston Cup and pushes the king over the finish line. It's a really rough moment that turns into a great, poignant lesson in humility and compassion.
You just gave up the Piston Cup. You know then?
This grumpy old race car I know once told me something.
It's just an empty cup.
Daryl, is pushing on the last lap legal?
Hey man, he's not really pushing him. He's just giving him a little bump grab.
Number 18. What really matters. Soul.
I never got my spark.
Yes, you did.
In 2020, Disney and Pixar got existential. Soul follows Joe Gardner, a pianist determined to become a big-time musician who falls into a coma after an accident. This experience leaves his soul lost between worlds. Joe fights to get back to his life, but first, he must help 22, a soul who needs to find her spark. What they finally come to realize is that the whole purpose of life is just that, being alive.
Your spark isn't your purpose. That last box fills in when you're ready to come live. And the thing is, you're pretty great at jazzing.
Armed with the new knowledge, they leave the great beyond and commit to living on Earth. It's pretty intense stuff for a kids' movie, but as always, Pixar manages to make it not only accessible, but beautiful to watch.
Wow.
Number 17. Some people are worth melting for. Frozen.
It wasn't true love.
But we ran all the way here.
Please, Olaf, you can't stay here. You'll melt.
When Princess Anna is brutally betrayed by Prince Hans, this mega hit takes a turn for the dark. Olaf, the daffy snowman, arrives just in time to help her over to a toasty fire. They both know he'll melt if he stays with her too long, but Frozen proves time and again that it's not a standard Disney fairy tale. It has a pretty novel take on the healing power of love for the studio, who practically invented the happily ever after.
Love is putting someone else's needs before yours, like, you know, how Kristoff brought you back here to Hans and left you forever.
Kristoff loves me?
Wow, you really don't know anything about love, do you?
He may be a little goofy, but Olaf is right. True love may be the answer they need, but it doesn't have to be romantic.
Olaf, you're melting.
Some people are worth melting for.
Number 16. Riley rediscovers her love of hockey, Inside Out 2.
I'm not good enough. Come on, Riley. Get it together. Come on, Riley. Get it together. I'm not good enough.
One of the most gut-wrenching parts of the sequel sees Riley, now a teenager, dealing with mental health issues. Her panic attack during a hockey tryout is shockingly real. Convinced she's blown her chances at making the team, her personified emotions are working overtime to keep her from shorting out completely with anxiety.
Sadness! Joy! Help! Come on, we can do this!
But Riley finds a way to center herself as her new sense of self forms. Calling joy to the console, she recovers and thrives. It's a fitting climax to the story, but it's also a moving and helpful guide to young viewers who may find themselves in a similar situation. Number 15. May saves her mother, turning red.
I'm changing, Mom. I'm finally figuring out who I am. But I'm scared it'll take me away from you.
Adolescence is awkward enough. A generational curse where you turn into a giant red panda makes it even harder. That's May's dilemma in turning red. She's already at odds with her mother Ming, and this complicates everything. The Pixar hit uses the curse as an allegory for puberty and menstruation, but the themes go deeper as the story progresses. The generations of women have to heal old wounds to conquer this beast. During a ritual with the others in her family, May encounters her mother's inner child in the spiritual plane.
I'm never gonna be good enough for her. Or anyone.
I know it feels that way, like all the time. But it isn't true.
She realizes that her mom had the same tension with May's grandmother, and suddenly it's a hard-hitting allegory for generational trauma. Her helping Ming and everyone growing has us in tears.
I'm sorry. Shh. You don't have to apologize.
Number 14. Quasimoto is accepted, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Quasimoto has spent his whole life trapped in the Notre Dame bell tower by the demented Judge Frollo. He dreams of being accepted by a society that shuns him due to his appearance. After saving Esmeralda from being burned at the stake, she and Phoebus coax him out of the shadows to finally be received by the people of Paris. For a moment, the crowd's silence is tense. Then a young girl embraces Quasimoto on the steps of the cathedral, and the music swells. The cheers resound for the city's new hero, although it might be hard to hear them over our own sobs. Number 13. Moanas Return, Moana. In this seafaring adventure story, the daughter of a village chief finds that she's been chosen to restore the powers of a mythical goddess and save her island from a blight. Her Her treacherous journey among the gods and demigods ends in triumph, and she sets sail for her home island. With the forces of the ocean on her side, Moana returns. It's a monumental moment, worthy of the legends she's encountered. Her parents' emotions are palpable as they hold her again, and it's hard not to feel all fuzzy inside as everyone turns out to welcome her home.
I may have gone a little ways past the reef.
It suits you.
Number 12, singing to Mama Coco, Coco.
Miguel, you apologize to your Mama Coco.
Mama Coco.
With all its moments of intergenerational contact and ancestors in the great beyond, Coco is sure to wring the tears out of you. But one of its most profound and beautiful moments is near the end. Miguel returns from his trip to the afterlife, having met his disgraced great-great-grandfather Hector. He sings Hector's song to his elderly and unwell great-grandmother Coco.
Don't let it make you cry, for even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart.
For the first time, she becomes animated enough to reminisce about her dad, ensuring that his spirit will not be forgotten in the afterlife. Watching the family come together and finally remember the man they wrongly thought abandoned them is unforgettably gorgeous.
Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember me.
Number 11, the adventure album, Up. Carl is a recent widower who never went on the big South American adventure he and his wife dreamed of. Having flown his whole house to the continent with just a bunch of balloons, he's come face to face with his idol, an adventurer who turns out to be a crooked criminal. Downtrodden and taking refuge in memories of his wife, he finds a message she left him that allows him to move on for good. They may not have ever gone on the adventure they thought, but their life together was one worth remembering. It makes her passing in the movie's famous opening montage sting a little less. It's all enough to turn on the waterworks for us. Number 10, Ray Becomes a Star, The Princess and the Frog.
Louis, what is it?
Shadow Man done laid poor Ray low.
Ray.
He's hurting awful bad.
It's hard not to get attached to this sparky little Cajun firefly as he guides Tiana and Naveen through the bayou. His know-how and sense of humor make him instantly lovable. Plus, his romance with Evangeline the Star just melts your heart, especially since it's clearly not meant to be. That's why it's absolutely heartbreaking when the Shadow Man kills Ray.
It's a voodoo, Hayako! The Shadow Man, he been using me for the... You can't let Shadow Man get this no matter what! Now run, girl! Run!
However, just when all seems lost, everyone looks to the sky to see him join his belle Evangeline. What's even more touching is it looks as if the two stars are holding hands. What were once tears of sadness turn to tears of joy as we realize the impossible love of Ray and Evangeline is actually meant to be. Number 9, Dory reunites with her parents, Finding Dory.
Hello. I'm
Dory!
Her name is Dory, and she suffers from short-term memory loss. This is the mantra Dory repeats to herself even after she loses and forgets her parents. So when she suddenly remembers she has a family, the film becomes an emotional roller coaster as she tracks one memory after another to find them. When she follows the seemingly random line of shells to her parents, you can't help but feel joy when she finally discovers them.
They leave my head and ideas change, and I've forgotten you, and I'm so sorry.
Dory, don't you dare be sorry. Look what you did.
It gets even more emotional when Dory learns that they waited all those years in the same spot, hoping one day their Celt cake would find them. They're so proud of her when she does, it's hard to stop the tears.
Mom, Dad, it's gonna be okay, because I know that even if I forget, I can find you again.
Number 8. Mulan comes home. Mulan.
Your Majesty, I can explain.
She left home and joined the army to bring honor to us all. Born into a society that values sons over daughters, Mulan struggles to show that she can be just as valuable without conforming to the domestic role she clearly isn't good at. That's why she gets down to business to defeat the Huns and then lays her spoils of war at her father's feet. By doing all of that, Mulan hopes to show she could be someone her family can be proud of.
You have saved us all.
The tears finally well up when Fazu tosses the items aside without even looking at them and embraces his daughter, telling her he was always proud of her.
The greatest gift and honor is having you for a daughter. I've missed you so.
I've missed you too, Baba.
Number 7. Riley shows how she really feels, inside out.
Did you guys pick up on that?
Sure did.
Something's wrong.
Should we ask her?
Let's probe, but keep it subtle so she doesn't notice.
For one reason or another, we've all buried what we're really feeling deep down inside us. And that's exactly why the scene strikes a chord with so many of us. It's the moment where Riley comes home after trying to run away. She breaks down in tears and tells her parents that she doesn't like San Francisco as she'd led them to believe, but really misses home.
I know you don't want me to, but I miss home.
To Riley's surprise, though, her parents let her know that she's not alone in her homesickness. They also miss the home where she made so many of her childhood memories. In that moment, Riley learns that it's okay to be sad, and sadness and joy finally learn to work together. Number 6. Ariel gets her legs back. The Little Mermaid.
She really does love him, doesn't she, Sebastian?
We have to assume that most dads would at least lose their tempers if their daughter wanted to change species to be with a guy. So is Triton blowing up Eric's statue and yelling at Ariel for loving him really that much of an overreaction? However, when Eric saves Ariel from Ursula, Triton realizes that this fish eater might not be such a bad guy. To show his daughter how much he loves her, Triton gives Ariel her legs back so she can be part of that world.
Well, it's like I always say, Your Majesty. Children got to be free to lead their own lives.
You always say that? Oh, then I guess there's just one problem left.
And what's that, Your Majesty?
How much I'm going to miss her.
It's a sweet father-daughter moment where Dad realizes that his little girl is growing up and ready to leave the cove. Really, all he wants is for her to be happy.
I love you, Daddy.
Now we can walk, now we can run, now we can stay all day in the sun.
Number 5. Aladdin uses his last wish for Genie. Aladdin.
Quick! Wish for something outrageous. Say, I want the Nile. Wish for the Nile. Try that.
I wish for the Nile.
No way!
It turns out that Genie ain't never had a friend like Aladdin. Genie is all ready to turn Aladdin back into a prince. That's why Aladdin's third wish catches him completely off guard, even though Aladdin promised Genie his freedom when they met. It's a gift that's worth more than the world to Genie, but one he's unlikely to receive, or so he thought.
You're free!
Genie's excitement and disbelief at his newfound freedom are enough to warm even the coldest of hearts. The fact that Aladdin gives up his chance at true love and royalty to end his friend's eternal servitude makes it even more touching. Aladdin's final wish gives Genie a whole new world and a whole new life.
Genie, I'm gonna miss you.
Me too, Al. No matter what anybody says, you'll always be a prince to me.
Number 4. WallE gets rebooted. WallE. Eve and WallE are two robots that will make you believe in humanity again. WallE's so persistently positive that he even wears Eve down and basically teaches a fellow robot to love. When he gets electrocuted and crushed, you can't help but pray she'll make it to Earth in time to save him. But when WallE reboots, he doesn't remember Eve or anything else beyond his job.
WallE!
It's tear-jerking to watch as she and the cockroach try to jog his memory with no success. When Eve's just about to give up, WallE suddenly remembers, holds hands with Eve, and calls her name. Cue the happy tears.
That is all that love's about. And we
You're kidding! Go.
Number 3. Rapunzel meets her parents. Tangled. It would seem that mother doesn't always know best, especially when that mother isn't actually your mother. Honestly, it's pretty upsetting to see Rapunzel's abusive relationship with Mother Gothel, especially since Rapunzel's loving parents have spent 18 years looking for their child by releasing the lanterns, desperately hoping she's still alive. It's devastating to see the king and queen's faces as they're about to release the lanterns, because it's clear the loss of their baby still affects them as deeply as it did so many years ago. So when mother, father, and daughter are reunited, you can't help but smile that Rapunzel's found the family she deserves, and her parents have finally got their daughter back. Number 2. Circle of Life, The Lion King. It's a song that moves us all. It's so iconic. Everyone belts out the first words, even if they have no clue what they're saying. Circle of Life is a perfect soundtrack for the scene where a newborn Simba takes his place in the Circle of Life. The musical build-up is intense, and the visuals are equally impressive, showing us the members of the Pride Lands coming together to celebrate this momentous birth. And when that title card pops onto the screen, we couldn't be more excited for what's to come. It's only fitting that the song comes back at the end of the film, when Simba and Nala welcome a bundle of joy of their own. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Andy gives his toys a new home. Toy Story 3.
Hi.
Wow, look at you. I hear you're off to college.
Yeah, right now actually.
So, what can we do for you?
I have some toys here.
Ooh, you hear that, Bonnie?
Bring on the nostalgia. This third installment of the Toy Story franchise definitely hits you right in the childhood. Whether it's Woody and the gang being accidentally given away, or Lotso's story, or the incinerator, this movie certainly has its ups and downs. But when Andy gives his toys to Bonnie, it's hard to tell if you should cry or smile.
Now Woody, he's been my pal for as long as I can remember. He's brave, like a cowboy should be, and kind and smart. But the thing that makes Woody special is he'll never give up on you. Ever.
On the one hand, it's great that the toys have a new home where they'll be treated well. On the other hand, they're leaving Andy after having spent his entire childhood with him.
So long, partner.
If you weren't crying earlier in the movie, then Woody's "So Long, Partner" will certainly send you over the edge as Andy and his toys part ways. Did these Disney moments give you all the feels? Let us know in the comments. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.